been so good, but he disappeared at 9:41, okay?
Okay.
So you can do the math, right? But he was 5 years old. He's 5 years old.
Well, first, just thanks for coming to you tonight to talk. I know most of your work focuses on the regime, but looking just at the nuclear weapons, in my viewpoint, whether it be Pakistan, India, Israel, or Iran, any country, or the United States, any country having nuclear weapons makes the world less safe. So I'm just curious about your thoughts on nuclear non-proliferation in general.
Okay. I'm not sure that nuclear weapons, once the genie was let out of the bottle, I'm not sure that nuclear weapons made the world less safe. Certainly the equilibrium of terror during the Cold War was extraordinarily dangerous and we came very close on a number of occasions to a nuclear exchange with the Soviet Union. But I'm not sure that since then that nuclear weapons made the world less safe. And I am absolutely convinced that there's no walking back nuclear weapons. You can't put that genie back in the bottle. We can bring our arsenals down quite low, but you can't go down to zero nuclear weapons when the technology is out there, when it's available, when it's impossible to control, and when a country like the Islamic Republic of Iran or another one, or a terrorist group, could develop nuclear weapons. I think we're going to be stuck with nuclear weapons for some time among the nuclear countries. Non-proliferation is a different story. Okay, non-proliferation is trying to prevent the spread of nuclear weapons, and we've made a great deal of progress, but it's imperfect progress. The intelligence communities in the United States and other countries have managed to penetrate some of the networks, the Con network in particular, and to discover where they were making centrifuge components, how they were shipping them, and how they were financing, and able to intercept some of those shipments. It's a very important thing to do. But they haven't stopped it. They stopped a ship going to Libya in 2011, but they missed all the stuff that went to Iraq. Now the Iranians have become essentially self-sufficient and producers of that technology themselves. Just as Iran has now become a major rocket and missile exporter to Lebanon, to Hezbollah in Lebanon, and to Hamas, in 5 years from now, they could quite conceivably become exporters of nuclear production technology, enrichment technology. So I'm afraid that we are non-proliferation has reached about the limit of what it can achieve when you have new suppliers of that technology who are not going to submit themselves to controls. Yeah.
I know you didn't necessarily specifically address this in your talk, but you walked us through the development of their nuclear program. And at what point do you find it acceptable for military action against Iran? Is it, at a point when we definitely know there's going to be an attack, or is there some point before that, or is it not as black and white as I'm hoping you're going to?
Well, it's a very difficult question, and I can tell you the people who are really struggling with this now are Benjamin Netanyahu and Shimon Peres and the Israeli leadership. The decision in the United States has been made. It was made under George W. Bush. It's been reaffirmed by Barack Obama that the United States will not launch a military strike on Iran. And it's just not going to happen. The question is whether Obama will approve or allow the Israelis to do it themselves. And Israel has publicly talked a lot about the red line. When does Iran cross the red line? And it seems that every 6 months or so, the red line gets pushed back. They cross one red line and then, okay, not that red line, maybe another red line. And we don't really know what the red line is. I suspect that knowing the Israelis fairly well, and the way that they think fairly well, the leadership, they really don't want to have to do this. They really, really don't want to have to launch military action against Iran, especially if it's unilateral military action without U.S. support. They don't want to do it because of the repercussions in Israel. I think they're pretty certain that they will have a massive launch of rockets from Lebanon, probably also from Gaza. They'll have possibly worldwide terrorist attacks against Jews by Iranian and other terrorist networks. So, and there will be all kinds of economic impact, the price of oil and whatever. So the consequences of a unilateral Israeli attack are quite formidable and almost deterring in and of themselves, except when you look at the consequences of not acting and allowing Iran to launch a nuclear weapon. So I think the Israelis are going to push that decision as far back as they possibly can, which may be March or April of this coming year.